Hello everyone and welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are doing my personal opinion on the top 20 worst PSAs. These PSAs I don't really like at all, but honestly some of these PSAs actually do have a bit of a funny factor to them. But this list is based around the PSAs that have the worst execution of their message or the message itself. Some of the PSAs on this list are hilarious and some of these are cringe as fuck, but anyways, let's just get straight into this one.
I'm Michael Jordan. McDonald's restaurants have given me this time to talk to you about something we both really care about: kids. Kids are the reason McDonald's sponsors their Get It Straight program, a national drug awareness effort. McDonald's is so concerned about this problem, you won't be seeing their usual commercials during this show because McDonald's believes it deserves your undivided attention. Now I'd like to speak just to the kids for a moment. Unfortunately, when people like myself, your teachers or your parents, try to talk to you about drugs, you think we're preaching at you, and sometimes it turns you off. Though I never used drugs, when people try to tell me things for my own good, it turned me off too. But I found out something. Even though they haven't experienced what you're experiencing now, a lot of that preaching was worth it. Because when it comes to drugs, experience is not the best teacher, but growing up is a very good teacher. That's what this program is all about. Living long enough to grow up. Think about this. Many of you using drugs out there now are under 18. Do you realize that at 18 you have lived only 1/4 of your life? When you're using drugs, you're only cheating yourself out of the chance to find out who you really can be. And believe me, if you don't use drugs, you can just about be anything you want to be. When I was 18, my future was just a dream. But if I'd been on drugs, that dream would have never come true. Listen, you got at least 3/4 of your life to go. That's 3 more lifetimes to you. So don't blow it. Don't do drugs. If you're doing it, stop it. Get some help. McDonald's wants you to give yourself a chance to find out all the wonderful things you really can be. And so do I.
This PSA is honestly just complete meme-worthy content. It's just the whole irony of Michael Jordan being in an anti-drug PSA for McDonald's. It's just hilarious. And yes, his acting is shit in this PSA, and it sucks in Space Jam as well, so Michael Jordan's just not a good actor. But really, I love this PSA because it's just so bizarre and weird that this actually came into be, that Michael Jordan does an anti-drug PSA with McDonald's. It's hilarious, it's terribly acted, but it's funny.
Now, what's wrong with you? Tonsillitis?
Appendicitis?
Yeah! Nobody's died of tonsillitis around here for a while.
Appendicitis.
Nothing to worry about. Scalpel?
What if the joint were in somebody else's hand, like your surgeon, your lawyer, or your local policeman? Would you still say marijuana is harmless?
Now, let's see if I can still make a straight line.
I can honestly quote this PSA off by heart. It is that bad, but it's hilarious. But the whole message of this PSA is dumb, trying to say that you wouldn't want to do marijuana at work, but it's like, what would you want them doing besides their job at work? This PSA just tries to put it on marijuana, but really, what if he was doing anything else? It'd either have the same effect or worse, to be honest. Like, say for example, if he was drinking instead of having marijuana, he'd be even more sloppy if anything, but honestly, it depends on how that person would react to alcohol. This PSA is just so memorable for how bad it is, but it goes on this list because of its terrible execution of its message and the message being stupid itself, so it definitely deserves a spot on here.
This is crack, rock cocaine. It isn't glamorous or cool or kid stuff. It's the most addictive kind of cocaine, and it can kill you. What's really bad is nobody knows how much it takes. So every time you use it, you risk dying. It isn't worth it. Look, everybody wants to be cool, but doing it with crack isn't just wrong. It could be dead wrong.
Yet another PSA so memorable and hilarious for how bad it is. I fucking love this PSA for how bad it is, but it's honestly so bizarre how it actually came to be. I honestly find this so funny because this PSA tries to be serious about crack, and then they bring out Pee-wee Herman. Pee-wee fucking Herman to talk about crack, and it just loses its seriousness 100%, and it's just a fucking comedy. There are other PSAs in the same campaign with celebrities like Clint Eastwood, Ali Sheedy, Bette Wilder, and I think there's a few others as well. I guess if Paul Rubens didn't jack off in a porno theater, he wouldn't have got sentenced to 75 hours of community service, yet he wouldn't have made this PSA because he wouldn't have had to do it. Honestly, it kind of makes me glad that he jacked off in the porno theater, so we got this fucking comedy masterpiece.
At this point, education is the most important thing in your lives. The successes of tomorrow are built upon the actions of today.
It's Charles!
So anyway, I looked the principal right in the eye and said, all right, quit. So he says, I'm gonna fail. I said, I flunk, you flunk. And then I give him one of these.
Just one question, Mr. Lessworth. One question. Mr. Lessworth, just one question. One question, Mr. Lessworth. Just one question.
Chaz, what are your plans for the future?
Education lets you live your dreams, so you don't have to dream your lives.
Tough it out.
Stay in.
This is honestly just so fucking funny. I feel like I don't have too much to say about this PSA, but it's just so bizarre. You see the kids dream of him dropping out of school and stuff. Like, it's not a bad message, but I feel like its execution is just fucking hilarious. I don't know what it is about it, but I just feel like it's so bad that it's hilarious. But it is a bit of a weird way to show off your message. What the actual fuck did I just watch? The fact that there's a PSA with a rocket ship going into a black hole being about using a condom is just fucking hilarious and so bizarre. It's so fucking strange. And was not using a condom such a big problem in 1995? I honestly don't think by then it would have been that big of an issue, but maybe because of AIDS? I don't know. Besides that, why did a PSA need to be made to tell people to wear a condom where they legit have a rocket ship putting a condom on to go in a black hole? Like, I need answers on this shit. What the fuck?
Once again, folks, item J343 is the Surfing Monkey Coin Bank. It's great for graduations, wedding gifts, and I believe we sold out on this one last time, so please do not let this one pass you by. Now let's go to caller Scott in Nashville.
Hello.
Now, Scott, I understand you just bought 15 of our Surfing Monkey Banks. Is that true?
Yeah. Chill, man. I'm on TV.
Probably the funniest PSA out there. Simple as that. The way that this PSA tries to tell the audience that smoking is bad is fucking hilarious, and it actually seems like this PSA is telling you to smoke weed, because as the man JonTron said,
you get that much fun out of a monkey surfboard piggy bank. God bless you. God bless you.
Is there really much else to say about this PSA besides the fact that it's actually hilarious?
It's yours?
No,
Your mother said she found it in your closet.
I don't know. One of the guys must
have what?
Look, Dad, it's not.
Where did you get it?
Dad,
Answer me. Who taught you how to do this stuff?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
Parents who use drugs have children who use drugs.
A pure fucking classic. Nearly everyone would remember this PSA. It is that iconic, and plenty of movies and TV shows have actually made fun of this PSA. But the message in the whole PSA is kind of whack, because they say that parents who use drugs have kids that use drugs, and I don't really think that's true. Hear me out on this one. I think this wouldn't be true with more dangerous drugs, because they'd really see how badly it affects their parents. But with marijuana, maybe, because it's actually shown to help people relax. But all the anti-weed PSAs around the 80s and 90s try to paint weed as a really bad thing, and it's not. Unless you heavily abuse it like anything else, it's obviously going to be bad then.
Squire Gwen, you stand accused of crashing your steed into a market stall. Explain yourself.
Oh, Your Majesty, my eyes only drifted from the path for a brief moment. I was writing a letter.
You fool! One must never place quill to parchment while in command of a horse. Betting on jousting, arguing with trolls. And what is this?
A selfie?
We go from a funny PSA to a cringe PSA. Fuck. Yeah, I know this PSA only came out last year, but I hate it. The fact that they use medieval times to talk about texting and driving is so whack. I just find this so cringe. Besides from the green P plate on the donkey, that's kind of funny. Also, if you don't know what P plates are, they're like probation plates for when you get your license. You have 4 years, you have 1 on red and 3 on green, so it is kind of a funny nod to that. But the references to texting and selfies and shit is so cringe, and I feel like it just makes its PSA's message not effective at all. It just makes me want to roll my eyes to the back of my fucking skull. Also, this is one of the main PSAs I was actually thinking of when I didn't put TAC at the top of my tier list in my tier list video about PSA companies, but there are a few other cringy TAC PSAs as well.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Jess. I noticed that you're kind of cute. I hope this doesn't sound lame, but sometimes you just want to have some fun. Do you know what I mean? And I'd really like to have some fun with you. I could take my top off. You like that, don't you? You could take your top off. Maybe your jeans too. I'd like to watch you doing stuff while I do stuff. Except, maybe you shouldn't. Because you know what? You're being recorded. Understand?
Gorgeous, isn't she? Yeah, she works for me.
You're being blackmailed.
Your contacts have been downloaded. The film will be shared with your friends, your family, your workmates,
Everyone you know.
Unless you pay. And if you think you can talk me out of it, think again. Because for those of us pressing the buttons behind the scenes, it's just business.
Yeah, this definitely goes on here. I feel like the acting in this PSA is kind of bad as well, because I feel like the main actress actually tries to sell her performance way too hard, and it comes off just really cringeworthy. Also, this isn't how blackmailing works over the internet. I've never seen anyone being blackmailed over video. Like, who the fuck would do that? Like, legit, now you have a face to know who's blackmailing you. And how the fuck does a video call start by clicking someone's profile picture?
I'd like to watch you doing stuff.
Alright, hold on, you can watch me play Apex.
A glance at your phone is the same as this. When you're on your phone, you're driving blind.
I probably hate this PSA more than a lot of other people, but I just find this PSA not accurate at all. I discussed this in my Lost Art of PSAs video, but basically my main problem with this PSA is it tries to say that you're completely blind when you look at your phone. But there's a thing called peripheral vision. Obviously, I'm not encouraging people to text and drive because it's dangerous, but people have peripheral vision. You're not completely blind. But I really find this PSA just quite dumb, and I feel like it over-exaggerates the matter of the PSA.
Right, kids, just before you go, there's a brilliant idea in the air that I'd like to run by you. Now, it's called 10-10. The idea is everyone starts cutting their carbon emissions by 10%, thus keeping the planet safe for everyone, eventually. Now, this hasn't got to be a huge thing, but I would love it if you and your families would think about doing something.
What sort of thing, miss?
Well, like getting your dad to insulate the loft, or taking your next holiday by train instead of flying, or buying energy-saving light bulbs.
We're thinking of using our car less. I'm going to cycle to school.
That's fantastic, Jemima. Now, no pressure at all, but it'd be great to get a sense of how many of you might do this. Just a rough percentage. That's fantastic. And those not? Philip and Tracy. That's fine, that's absolutely fine. Your own choice. Okay, class, thank you so much for today, and I will see you all tomorrow. Oh, just before you go, I just need to press this little button here. Now, everybody, please remember to read chapters 5 and 6 on volcanoes and glaciation. Except for Philip and Tracy, of course.
This PSA is just so fucking bizarre. It's honestly so bad that it's good. But hey, this one PSA actually got banned. I don't know if this PSA's message got lost in execution, but it just seems ridiculous that this PSA legit says cut your carbon cost by 10% or just get fucking blown up. It's honestly so bizarre that this got past the first fucking draft. Like, what executive at 1010 thought this was a good idea? They could have done something smart like showing us how bad our carbon emissions are at the moment, and by reducing 10% how much benefits we get out of that. But this PSA is just honestly so fucking funny because it's just so batshit insane that this actually got made, and the whole message is just whack. But to be honest, this is one PSA I find fascinating how it actually aired and then got banned like a day later. I get the idea of this PSA, but the actor acting out a mime absolutely sucks. I still barely understand what the mime was trying to act out in this one. All I got out of this PSA was that he had a drink and then he went to drive, questioned some shit, slit his own throat, then broke his heart, and took his Santa hat off. So why is he wearing a Santa hat? Did this take place around Christmas or what? This PSA really just doesn't make any sense. And if they got a proper mime, this wouldn't be as bad, but because the guy can't act for shit, it just sucks.
Yes, sir. So, like, would you mind stepping out of the car and doing a breath test?
Look, you had 2 pints, you're over the limit. That's a 12-month ban and a criminal record.
Hey, it's company policy. I've got to let you go.
I know there's only 20,000 on the clock, but that's my final offer.
That's just great, Max. No license, no job. Now what?
So, what's it gonna be?
think is back at it again with this absolute fucking banger. This PSA just mainly sucks because of the performance, yet again. To be honest, there is a lot of people that hate this PSA, and I'm probably one of them. It honestly just seems like this bloke's trying to audition for SNL, but it just comes off as really cringeworthy. As I said in the past, I don't think this PSA is the worst PSA, but it isn't good at all, so it definitely deserves this spot. And this was a decent idea for a PSA, it just wasn't executed well.
Your Uncle Michael and Auntie Shirley. Who's Auntie Shirley? Auntie Shirley is Dad's sister.
Who's Clover?
Oh, she's a new puppy. She's a cavoodle.
It's a cavoodle poodle.
A cavoodle poodle, thank you.
Starts with R.
River.
No.
Dog.
Keep trying.
Did we miss a turn?
What?
Yeah.
Yep. The third TAC PSA on this list. I told you all there'd be a few of these. This one's probably the worst TAC PSA because the whole message of this PSA is not to speed, yet he flips the car because he completely looks the opposite direction and just goes, huh? And then afterwards, after he realizes he's going on the gravel, he looks and then he completely turns the wheel and flips the car. Also, when you look at the speedometer, he was only going 5Ks over the speed limit, so if he was going 80 or 85, the car would have flipped either way. Honestly, just so dumb to put this whole PSA on speeding because the real problem in this PSA is the main driver actually getting distracted.
Why are you wearing a meat belt?
Why are you not wearing a meat belt? Exactly.
God, I ironically love this PSA for how bad it is. I get that this PSA is trying to show off how stupid smoking is, but this just takes it to a whole new extreme. And I find this so funny because of how whack it is. But hey, the only people I can see wearing a meat belt is clinically obese people or people that just can't stop eating. But who would want raw meat on a meat belt? What the fuck? Honestly, don't really have much else to say about this PSA, but this PSA is just so whack that I love it.
Okay, let's look at that again. Now, why did you let her do that?
I've just about had enough of clearing up after that little madam.
And you?
Dunno. Whole place is a mess anyway.
Every time my son borrows the car, it comes back stinking like a filthy ashtray.
It's all right. Dad said it gives people jobs.
Get off. Can't do any harm. I put it out of the way.
Everyone's got an excuse. What's yours?
I love it how hard this PSA tries to make it seem like lead is such a big danger in the weirdest way possible. Like, what are the fucking chances that someone would knock a bottle over and fall into that same glass from the bottle that they'd knocked over? You gotta have some serious brain damage to pull that shit off because she knocks the bottles to her right. So how would you manage to knock bottles off something to your right and then magically fall to your right onto that broken glass? Obviously, people shouldn't let her, but the way this PSA shows that is absolutely hilarious because it just doesn't make any sense in any real world situation at all. And honestly, this is just one PSA I find straight up fucking hilarious.
The pirates are out to get you. Don't let them brand you with their mark. Piracy funds organised crime and will destroy our film and video industry. Piracy costs jobs and will destroy our music and publishing industry. Piracy funds terrorism and will destroy our development and your future enjoyment. Don't touch the hot stuff. Cool is copyright. Copyright is a matter of fact.
If you have any knowledge of the manufacture or sale of counterfeit film and video product or related software, please call our UK hotline on 020-8568-6646.
Yet another fucking hilarious PSA. This PSA makes people think that people that pirate DVDs are like the fucking devil or something. Obviously, I don't recommend pirating content, but considering how much money Hollywood's still making, with pirating being around quite a lot, it doesn't really seem like they're losing much money off pirating. I find this one so funny because it just feels like they're so out of touch and really don't understand how pirates are. But these types of companies do like to exaggerate shit like this, so a lot of people look at pirates and think of them really badly.
I am autism. I'm visible in your children, but if I can help it, I am invisible to you until it's too late. I know where you live, and guess what? I live there too. I hover around all of you. I know no color barrier, no religion, no morality, no currency. I speak your language fluently, and with every voice I take away, I acquire yet another language. I work very quickly. I work faster than pediatric AIDS, cancer, and diabetes combined. And if you are happily married, I will make sure that your marriage fails. Your money will fall into my hands, and I will bankrupt you for my own self-gain. I don't sleep, so I make sure you don't either. I will make it virtually impossible for your family to easily attend a temple, a birthday party, a public park, without a struggle, without embarrassment, without pain. You have no cure for me. Your scientists don't have the resources, and I relish their desperation. Your neighbors are happier to pretend that I don't exist, of course, until it's their child. I am autism. I have no interest in right or wrong. I derive great pleasure out of your loneliness. I will fight to take away your hope. I will plot to rob you of your children and your dreams. I will make sure that every day you wake up, you will cry, wondering who will take care of my child after I die. And the truth is, I am still winning, and you are scared, and you should be. I am autism. You ignored me. That was a mistake.
And to autism I say,
I am a father,
a mother, a grandparent,
brother,
a sister.
We will spend every waking hour trying to weaken you.
We don't need sleep because we will not rest until you do.
Family can be much stronger than autism ever anticipated, and we will not be intimidated by you, nor will the love and strength of my community.
I am a parent riding towards you, and you can push me off this horse time and time again, but I will get up, climb back on, and ride on with the message.
Autism, you forget who we are. You forget who you are dealing with. You forget the spirit of mothers and daughters and fathers and sons.
We are
the United Kingdom. United States.
We are Argentina.
We are Russia.
We are the European Union.
We are the United Nations.
We are coming together in all climates.
We call on all faiths. We search with technology
and voodoo,
prayer and
herbs, genetic studies,
and a growing awareness you never anticipated.
We have had challenges, but we are the best when overcoming them.
We speak the only language that matters, love for our children.
Our capacity to love is greater than your capacity to overwhelm.
Autism is naive.
You are alone. We are a community of warriors.
We have a voice. You think because some of our children cannot speak, we cannot hear them? That is autism's weakness.
You think that because my child lives behind a wall, I am afraid to knock it down with my bare hands?
You have not properly been introduced to this community of parents and grandparents, of siblings and friends, and school teachers, therapists, pediatricians, and scientists.
Autism, if you are not scared, you should be.
When you came for my child, you forgot.
You came for me.
Autism. Are you listening?
This one is just extremely fucking harsh for the first half. It makes autism seem like a deadly disease that's just gonna ruin your life in every single way possible. I get the idea that autism isn't a good thing, but it's just the way they over-exaggerate it where it's legit like a deadly disease. It also just seems like the company that made this PSA doesn't understand autism in the slightest, even though they're called Autism Speaks. If they just made a simple PSA telling people how bad it is to deal with autism, that would have been fine. That would have been more than enough. But this PSA that they ended up making is so fucking whack.
You look at me when I'm talking to you! Look at me! Is this what you want? You useless woman! Look at what you made me do! Look at me! Shut your mouth! What did you got? No! Yeah! Cry!
This PSA is just so dumb, and it's obviously trying to get a reaction out of people. The fact that PETA thought, oh yeah, it's a good idea to compare a dead fish about to be cooked to someone being physically abused is really dumb. Look, I do understand what they were going for, but the way they've shown it here, it just doesn't work. Maybe if they switched out the dead fish for how animals in like slaughterhouses and stuff get physically abused, maybe it would have been alright then. It would be better since they're actually two things to compare. But this one's just straight out fucking dumb. Also, the performance of the yelling dad, it's actually hilarious because he overacts to the fucking extreme.
She's got a smile that it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories where everything was as fresh as the bright blue sky. Now and then when I see her face, she takes me away to that special place. And if I stayed too long, I'd probably break down and cry. Oh, sweet child of mine.
Since 2000, speeding has killed a classroom of our children. Shame on you. You can never control the consequences if you speed.
God, how this PSA completely misses the mark and manages to make me fucking laugh my ass off. You can tell they're trying way too hard to get emotion out of you by playing a slow cover of Sweet Child O' Mine and having a full classroom of kids die. Like, they're really just trying to squeeze a fucking reaction out of the audience by killing a classroom of kids. Also, did you notice that the teachers in the background are legit just staring at the kids being squashed? The crash itself in this PSA looks so fake and it is fucking hilarious. This is probably the PSA I've laughed at the most because they try so hard and fail so miserably. I also love how the kids on the rug just dissolve into their own clothes. Honestly, just add like a squishing sound effect when the car rolls over the children and it's fucking comedy gold. This is probably the funniest PSA while also being the worst PSA, so that's why it's here. Anyways, that is my personal opinion on the top 20 worst PSAs. Let me know what you all thought in the comments, and also let me know if you agree or not in the comments. And make sure to let me know if you want more lists like this in the future, as these lists are doing really well, and I would be glad to do more lists as I really enjoy doing this stuff. Also, if you enjoy this video, make sure to give it a nice old thumbs up. And if you enjoyed my videos, make sure to subscribe to get notifications whenever I upload. I'll be uploading a certain type of videos every week, which will be PSA reactions. I'll be recording my new one in 2 days, and I'll try and squeeze in some other videos like this in between. For the first week of PSA reactions, as I said in the last video, we're going to be getting my admins and mods to react to some PSAs, but we'll get some other guests on every week and whatnot. It'll be a fun little series to do, and we'll have videos like this out during the week as well. But anyways, thank you all again, and I shall catch you all in the next one.